Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's One Way Up here, back with another video review. And in this review I have another car for you, but it is a little bit different than what I'm used to doing. So what you have here is a 2009 Mercedes-Benz E350. So for the 2009 E350, this is the W211 generation of the E-Class, which is one of Mercedes' best-selling sedan models. And for this W211 generation, it started in 2002 and it finished in 2009, with this being the last model year that you're looking at right now. And throughout those years that the vehicle was out, Mercedes had made multiple improvements to the car overall. The version that you're looking at now is the facelifted version, which started in 2007 to 2009, where it finished. And this car could be had in different engine and trim configurations. So this is the E350, which is what most E-Classes here in North America are going to be in. But you can also get this in the E550 version, the E63, there's the E320 diesels, and different estate models you can get as well. So they did also make this as a station wagon. Now this car has Mercedes' older design language. As you can see, they don't really use this champagne or tannish color for their vehicles anymore. And also there were options to get this car with a sport package. So this is the AMG sport package, which has the dual exhaust on the bumper. Normally the standard luxury trim would just have the flat bumper with the exhaust being hidden underneath the bumper folded down. So overall, this 2009 E350 is in great condition. A lot of older Mercedes tend to have worn parts on the exterior and the interior as well, but this one's pretty nice. You're looking at the rims. You do have the AMG logo right there in the rim, which comes standard with the sport package. Nice chrome handles, turn signals in the side view mirrors. Overall, very nice, clean, elegant looking vehicle. Another great thing about the AMG Sport package is you get this nice bumper that has these vents. Giving you guys another angle of it. Classic design with these Mercedes from the early 2000s. There's the circular design on their headlights. You have your standard headlamps right there. This one's for the turn signal, and you have your fog lamps. Of course, you have your hood ornament right there, which looks very nice. It's nice to see that as you're driving on the hood as you look straight ahead. So this is the key to the vehicle. You have a standard key. It does have some nice heft and weight to it. You have your standard, let me try to get this to focus. You have your standard lock, unlock, trunk button, no remote start, and your panic button right there. So, unlock the car. One thing I love about this vehicle is that the door feels very nice and solid, especially when you close it. Has a nice stud to it. Definitely feels like the car is well insulated. So before getting inside the car, the door does open pretty wide. It's almost to a 90-degree angle, so it's very easy for you to get in and out of this vehicle. But another great thing about the interior of this car is in the early 2010s, Mercedes would use this color on some of their higher end vehicles. I love this two-tone tan and brownish color with the wood trim. Makes the car look very elegant. I'm going to pop the hood for you guys. So to open the older Mercedes, you'd have to pull this. I'm not sure if they do that on the newer ones now, but you'd have to pull this little lever that pops out and lift the hood. And one thing I love is that it comes with automatic hood strut, so you don't have to pull the stick and then use it to hold the engine up. Look at that. This is a nice V6. You know, you get a decent amount of power, especially for its time. You get 270 horsepower. You know, this car has no lack of power when you need it to get moving. Now, there is a bit of a lag at some points depending on where you catch it on RPM, but this being a naturally aspirated engine, the power is there, no turbos. You can also get the E55 AMG, which is their supercharged V8 compressor engine. That is an iconic engine, you know, pretty much bulletproof, reliable, and very good on the power. Now, they did update their AMG engine to the E63 during the later model years of this vehicle, which is a naturally aspirated, great sounding engine that you can get as well if you're looking for more power. But as far as getting the V6, you'll have great reliability. You don't have to worry about things breaking on it as you will with some of the AMG models, and the power is pretty good. Now, the fuel economy is actually a lot better in this vehicle than I thought. As far as my time driving this vehicle, the fuel economy wasn't bad. Now, to fill up the tank, it is a lot of money since you are putting premium gas and it does have a pretty big tank size, but the actual fuel economy is not bad at all. We're going to close this. I love this interior. I can't get over how great the colors come together, especially with this classic wood trim that you don't see that much anymore in modern vehicles, or at least in this color. I love this light colored wood. Now, a lot of older vehicles, the leather will start to wear on the seats, but this one is in great condition. You don't see too many wrinkles on the chair, especially the driver's seat, which is what is used more than any other seat of the vehicle. But as you can see, not too much wrinkles in the leather. No rips and tears. So now stepping inside, I do love how they redesigned the interior of this vehicle. It does look a lot more modern than the pre-facelift version of it. Even the steering wheel, I love how they redesigned the steering wheel. It looks way better than the previous version in my opinion. You have different parts to grab if you want to just rest your hand. Buttons work. Nice color. Goes with the rest of the vehicle. Looking at the door, I just can't get over how great this wood looks. Now, even though this is an older car, you don't see too many cracks in the wood. You do see a little bit right there, but as far as like the top coating, it still has a nice shine in the light, and the colors are still vibrant. It's not faded. Another nice thing about Mercedes is their seat controls are right here in the door. They all work perfectly fine. You have 3 position memory settings, window adjustments right there, or all 4 windows are up and down automatic. Wow, even the leather is still in great condition. This vehicle held up pretty well for being a 10+ year old car. A lot of luxury vehicles don't really hold up this well, especially being 10+ year old, and the interior is worn out. So previous owners kept great care of this vehicle. In the door pocket, you do have a nice soft cloth material, not a lot of hard plastic. I don't think there's any hard plastic really. I mean, you have plastic right here, but everything else is nice and soft to the touch. This is soft to the touch. Moving down, you have this optional Harman Kardon sound system, which sounds very good. I've driven the 2013 car, which is 4 years older than this one, that had a Bose sound system, and this Harman Kardon sounds better. Excellent sounding system. So moving over to the center, you have this nice aluminum colored outline around your gauges. Let me turn the car on. So this vehicle has a standard key that goes inside and you turn it on that way, but you do have the option to get it as a push to start, where the push to start button would be on the shifter. Now that option for the key would be standard on the higher end trim levels like the E550 or the 63, but you could get it on the E350 if you wanted as well. Starting up the car. The car does have a nice sound. I do like the exhaust on it. It doesn't sound weak. It's a nice grunt to it. I don't have a tripod or holder to record the sound of the exhaust from the outside, but if I put the window down, you might be able to hear it a little better. Anyways, so you have your RPM meter on the right, speed, speedometer in the middle, and you have a clock on the left side, which is interesting. So this actually tells the time, but you know, you can also look over on the screen in the middle if you want to look at the time, but it works. It's 10 plus years old. What is it? About 14-year-old car. Everything works perfectly fine. The clock works, the speedometer works, no issues with the center display. Now you can change the center display if you want to show other things, but I like to keep it on the speedometer, or the digital speedometer rather. The car does have automatic lights, of course, and you can turn on your fog lights as well. You do see some fading right there on the words and displays for the light settings. Now, one thing about Mercedes back in the day is that their turn signal in some of their cars were very low. So in most vehicles your turn signal will be higher, but they do put it a little bit lower. It does take some time to get used to when you first start driving this car. Your cruise control setting is up here, and over here you do have power adjustable steering settings, so you can move your steering wheel up and down without having to pull a lever and manually adjust it, which I do love that feature so much. And also it does help with easy enter and easy access, so you do have a setting to make the steering wheel automatically adjust forward and up out of your way to help you get in and out of the car quicker. And when you adjust your memory seat setting, it'll adjust the steering wheel to the position where you like it as a driver. So other parts of the steering wheel, you have volume controls on here to answer and hang up on your phone calls. Over here you have paddle shifters. I'm not sure if this is standard on the Sport package or if you can get it on a regular E350 luxury package, but I don't use shifters too much. You do also have the option to automatically shift it from here. So you put in drive, you can shift your gears up and down by moving it left to right as well. Upon touching the shifter, I do love how there's a wood trim on the back of this shifter as well, and it feels very nice and smooth. It doesn't feel really cheap. And this part of the shifter is leather wrapped as well. I do love the texture and everything on this car. This car is in great condition. It's held up real well. Over here you have voice controls, but really you don't need to use that. I'm sure back in 2008 it was great for people to have that feature, but we do have Bluetooth that comes in this car, and you do have an option. Oh, let's see. You do have to buy a little Bluetooth adapter that you plug in right there, which will connect to your phone. But the car also comes standard with an option to connect your phone to it just to make calls. But if you want to be able to stream music and other things, you'd have to buy that Bluetooth connector right there. To open up the sunglass holder, you have a little extra compartment right here. The doesn't have a sunglass holder up here, so this is where I tend to put my glasses, but you can also put other small objects in there as well. So moving over to the center of the vehicle, have your vents, dual zone climate control. Comes standard on this vehicle. I'm not sure if there's an option to get it any other way, but you'll have your on and off switch, different modes you can change it to, AC, everything's right there. Moving down to the center screen. Now the infotainment system was improved, and I feel like this one is a lot more visually appealing than the previous infotainment system that was in it. It's pretty easy to navigate too. You have your 4 main screens on top, so you have your navigation, your audio, phone controls. Never used video before, but you could put CDs in this car as well, and you have system controls and settings. Navigation system, it still works, but you're going to be much better off using your phone. Now, I have seen many different aftermarket screens you can get online to put in this vehicle, but I prefer to keep this one stock the way it is, so I wouldn't possibly risk any electrical problems that may arise. But they do have aftermarket screens that fit perfectly well into this screen, and it looks very fluid and nice. So you have more controls over here for your telephone. This is pretty outdated. You don't really need this number keypad to dial numbers anymore, but I do use it for my radio presets, so it makes it easy to go to stations that you already have saved on your radio. Moving down, more of this wood trim carries through the center. Heated seats. You do have the option to get this with ventilated seats as well, which I find pretty nice. This is for the rear window shade, so it goes up and down. This is to move the headrest down in the rear. Hazard lights, lock and unlock. So yes, the lock and unlock components, they put it in an interesting place. It's in the center of the vehicle as opposed to being on the door like you would get in most vehicles. But let's show you guys how the center shade works. You just press that, comes up. No issues with the center shade going up and down. Also, the button next to it is to drop the rear headrests. Now if you want to put it back up, you have to do it manually. Open up the wood, a little bit of storage space here, not much, and then you have an outlet to put cigarette lighter, 12 volt outlet. You have a comfort and sport mode. Those are the different driving options with the automated manual. Now before opening that up, I do love how the wood is still shiny after 14 years, or 13 years rather. Very smooth opening and closing of it. 2 cup holders. You could take it out if you'd like. More storage space back here. It's nicely lined with a soft material, although the cup holder is all plastic, which is fine. I feel like, you know, you have drinks that are leaking, you don't want it to get into the carpeted material and cause it to stain or smell over time. So yeah, you get automatic dimming rear view mirrors on this vehicle, along with dimming side view mirror. The lighting controls, sunroof, manual open for the shade, but automatic to open and close the sunroof screen. Great materials on this car all throughout. Even the side panel is lined in a soft carbon material, as you can see. Goes all the way to the top. I do love how the roof line is not sagging. The materials are still holding up well. It's nice and firm, but also soft to the touch. I'm going to step out of the vehicle and show you guys the back seat. Let me slide my seat forward a little bit. So I do drive with the seat pretty far back. So the rear door doesn't open as wide as the front, but you do have a good amount of space to get in and out of it. I love how the wood trim does carry to the rear doors as well. Looks very nice design. Got a little compartment here that still works, comes out fine. I mean, I don't know what you could put in there, probably like a couple of dollars or something, but you do have that little option. You have carpeted rear door pockets as well. Soft touch material carries over to the rear. A little bit of plastic there. Okay, you guys, look at the seats. So I'm standing on the floor of the car. So this is me stepping in. Wow, so I actually have a very good amount of space in the back. I have way more than I thought. Well, this is a mid-size sedan, and mid-size sedans nowadays are bigger than this one. So like, I've looked at the Nissan Altima. The Nissan Altima is longer overall than this car, and they were in the same, supposed to be in the same size class segment, but I do have a great amount of space, especially for my legs. I have about 2 inches of headroom, but yeah, this is a very comfortable place to be in the back seat. I'm 6'3", and I feel very comfortable in these seats. Now, as far as fitting another person back here, that'll be fine with no issues. You know, you do have a seat in the middle, but when you're gonna try to fit 3 people in here, it'll be very, very tight, especially with this little pillar here where the transmission goes to drive the rear wheels. But other than that, I mean, if it's just 1 or 2 people back here, they'll be very comfortable. You have another power outlet right there. Pockets still work. Let's fold down the center armrest. So with the center armrest, you have a compartment. It's segmented for you to put a couple pens and maybe some cards. And this also should have a cup holder. Let me see how to work this. Just push this in. Comes out like that. Nice and simple. I was expecting it to be more dramatic. I heard the Germans were known for over-engineering their cup holders, but this one came out pretty simple and easy. Just pops up like that. Pull this back. Well, the leather feels real nice. After all these years, they've done a great job with the leather. Seat belts look great too. I'm gonna step out. Opening up the trunk. So I do like that when you open the trunk, I don't know if it's hydraulic powered, but it opens all the way up so you don't have to lift it. This doesn't have the button to automatically close it like you would get on the S-Class, but I'll take the opening being easy. Trunk space, I don't know the direct or exact dimensions of it, but you do have a decent sized trunk for sure. Lined with carpet, soft material. You have another compartment under here where the spare tire would go as well. But with that being said, this concludes my overall review and impressions, thoughts on the 2009 Mercedes-Benz E350. So these cars are actually very good. You get all-wheel drive, you get great interior materials, nice comfortable ride, and these could be found for a good price. Now my main concern, if you're looking to buy one of these, is to make sure you do your research on the history of the previous owners, as far as like what they did as maintenance on the car, how they kept it. But if you could find one in great condition, then I would definitely recommend that you buy it for sure. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.